Hey again, BookTube. I'm going to do my weekend reads, Friday reads, am reading, whatever it's called these days. I woke up this morning and thought we were going to go hiking, but apparently the oak pollen has attacked me again. And so it's probably not a good idea to go hiking when your glands are swollen. So I finished Queen of the Big Time pretty quickly, and it's a nice breezy read. It's not something I would typically pick up, but it was a nice palate cleanser, and it got me thinking about my family history again, so I think I'll talk about that more tomorrow. I'm still really enjoying each of the stories in A Manual for Cleaning Women by Lucia Berlin. The last one that I read was about a woman in grief who goes to Mexico and befriends some divers, and they teach her how to dive, and it's just so good. It's so good. If you haven't tried any short stories by Lucia Berlin, I highly, highly recommend them. I've also tried to pick back up Neil Gaiman's American Gods because my husband finished it. But I'm not enjoying it as much when I have to read the words to myself in my head. I think I'm just spoiled because I really enjoy it when my husband reads to me, and Neil Gaiman is really hit or miss for me. So like, I like it, but it's so long, and the characters are just, for me, they aren't gripping. Like, they're just okay. So, I don't know. Maybe I can convince him to read for me. Or I'll probably just pick this up here and there. But it's not my main read. I am still really enjoying Lincoln's Melancholy, and after reading Queen of the Big Time, getting a little bit of a mental break from nonfiction, I'm going through it again, about a chapter a night during the work week, and right before bed, and I'm just loving this so much. I have all the tabs. It's a library book, so I'm gonna have to take them out, but I'm just loving it so much. It's a really interesting exploration of Abraham Lincoln from a perspective of his psychology, and examining someone's psychology is something that when I was in school for history they really, really discouraged you from doing. But the way that this author, Joshua Wolfshank, does it is, it's a very measured and cautious way. So he doesn't overstate what we could say about Lincoln from historical documents. It's really a history. And it's in 3 parts. So I finished part 1 and part 2. The part 1 describes his first mental break, when he first had a major depressive episode, and the second part describes how he tried to cope with that, and the ways that he was successful and not successful within the context of a fairly difficult period in his personal and political life. And then the third part will be about how he finally decided how to move forward with this experience. So how he fueled his greatness. But I just started part 3, so I can't really comment on it yet. But it's a very, very well done book, and I highly recommend it, especially if you do have any kind of depression or anxiety. It's just, for me, I found it very useful, and I'm very thankful for finding the recommendation on the Art of Manliness blog. And the last one is I got The Confessions of Young Nero by Margaret George. Forgive me, I can't remember whose channel I found it on, but we had been talking a little bit about it back and forth. I saw this other booktuber's review of it, and was interested because when we were on vacation in Vegas, I saw a silly historical program about Baiae, which was a resort town near Rome that Nero used a lot, and so I got interested in this in Nero. The TV program suggested that he's a very terrible person, like a psychopath or a sociopath or something, and I think the booktuber that I watched said that he gets falsely accused of being a terrible person. So I want to read this book to see another perspective than the TV program gave me. So that's a little bit about what I'm reading. I'm really enjoying watching the videos, and thanks to the oak pollen, I'll probably be doing a lot of reading this weekend in bed with hot tea. Bye guys.